for ProjectFandom.com. I'm your host, Nina.
I'm Kaylee.
And I'm John.
And we are
I
back.
wasn't sure what order we were going in.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it.
I just figured we were going back to Avatar order.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you would remember.
But see, as professionals, we just went with it, and then you fucked it all up.
No, I plan on saying that anyway.
Oh, okay. Do we have to start over?
No.
She never lets me start over. She makes me leave in the worst shit when I record with her. I'll be like, okay, we got to cut that out. And she goes, no, it's fine. Just keep going. You would think she has to edit. So anyway, we're going to be talking about a brand new show. Yes, Kaylee and John and I are back together again. Last time we podcast together, it was, it was the trolley dilemmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we found out that Kaylee's a psychopath. And John's not far behind her, I think. Yeah, that was the last time the three of us were together. But before that, like on a regular basis, we covered Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, man, that is the show that keeps on giving. That's one of those, like, well, I don't know, technically not an anime, but animated series. Mm-hmm. But we talk about this with anime. Kaylee and I watch a lot, and you guys know this because most of it we cover on the podcast. But it's like I'm watching a lot now, and I'm getting pop culture references and memes that I never understood before. A lot of shit comes from animes, yeah. But Avatar, again, is the gift that just keeps on giving because it's like so many references that now I get. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
When you said you were understanding pop culture references and stuff, I just remembered the thing from JoJo's Adventure. And I showed you the meme.
So, John, okay, so we're going to be talking about an anime. You know what? I'm not even, well, if you clicked on this, you already know the name of it, so I'll get to it in a second. But we are going to shoot the shit a little bit. And I guess that's what we're doing now. Mm-hmm. John, do you know is it appropriate to call it a meme or is it like a trend? I don't know because I think aren't memes just like the photo?
Memes can be
video?
Gimmicks. Videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this thing where you'll watch a clip, and I imagine something like Vine probably made this very popular.
TikTok.
Yeah. So it's like a clip of something, a video clip of something about to happen, and then just like at a crucial moment, it pauses, and then it freezes. And then at the bottom, like right, an arrow comes out pointing towards the left with the words "to be continued." And the music is like
a guitar.
Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? Have you seen this?
I've probably seen it, but I don't remember it.
Okay, I will send you the link that Kaylee sent me. It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, we started watching. There was a list of the 25 greatest animes of all time. And I read the list to Kaylee, and we were like, we should watch the first episode of all of these. Just the first episode, just to see what they're like. And so we were doing that, and we ended up watching way more than one episode of it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's what that joke that little gimmick comes from. Every episode ends that way. But the best part, and it's like, I'm not doing it justice. It's really funny. Mm-hmm. But the best part, for me anyway, is that I haven't been exposed to it enough that I recognize it every time. Because the music is kind of distinct. It's like
a soft guitar that starts.
Yeah. It almost feels like it has like a Latin flair to it. A guitar, and then the music changes, and it's like doom 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 doom, and it's just like to be continued. But it'll be like the most. We just got to send them the link. We're not doing it justice. But that's how every episode of JoJo ends. Is like right towards the end. That music starts playing, and then it just freezes on this kind of like odd the moment that it chooses to freeze on, it's kind of weird, and the music is really catchy. Anyway, we'll send you a link. There are people who are listening who are very aware of what we're talking about, and they're loving it, John. Trust us.
It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. And I didn't know it was from JoJo's until we watched it, and I was like, oh my god. I freaked out when that episode ended, because, like, it's the ending theme song, too. Like, it plays throughout the credits.
Yeah.
Like, the song continues, and when the song was playing, I was like, why do I know this song? Because I wasn't looking, or I was looking, but I wasn't paying attention when I saw the to be continued arrow appear. So I saw it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's right. You were like, why do I know this song? And I was like, I don't know.
And then I was like, wait, rewind it. Because I was like, I think I just saw the to be continued arrow.
Yes.
And I didn't know it was from this.
It's just like when we watched Spirited Away.
Yeah.
The meme of the no face,
Yeah.
like floating off.
Washed away in the
yes. We were watching that, and that scene happened, and she was like that Leo gif in the recliner, John. She was like,
Look at all that. Yeah.
yes. She was like, Mom, this is everywhere on the internet, and now I know what it's from.
Feels.
But seriously, that's what it's like to watch anime as a woman of my age. It's like, oh.
Yeah. It's almost like it's pop culture.
Yeah, right. This is a segment of it that I just ignored. So, what did you want to shoot the shit about?
Oh, I mean, nothing. It's not important at all.
Okay.
But y'all were talking about pizza before we were going.
Mm-hmm.
And then it reminded me, have y'all tried I don't even know if we talked about this, the Stranger Things pizza?
No.
You know, in Stranger Things, they had the pizza, the surfer boy.
Yes.
They put out that pizza, like, as a novelty.
Where can you get it?
I got it at Walmart. It's like a frozen pizza.
What's on it?
And they got the pepperoni, they had the 3 meat, and supreme, and they had the jalapeno and pineapple.
I'm gonna fuck that up.
What? The moment he said pineapple, I'm like, oh, she's gonna love it.
Wow, so how was it?
Good. It's very good. I mean, it's a hand tossed. I think it's just like a reskinned frozen pizza, like I think Palermo's, I think is the name.
Okay.
So it's like that pizza, but in the Surfer Boy box.
Got it. That's so
It was
funny.
good.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, and then they didn't have. I knew they had the jalapeno and pineapple, but they didn't have it at the store when I was there. So I was like, oh man, I'll just get the pepperoni. But then I was in there like a couple weeks later, and they had like 5 or 6 of them. And I was like, I'm gonna buy all these sons of bitches. I just put them in my freezer.
No, I mean, I was gonna say, but that's the type of thing that if you like it, you should, because you know it's gonna go away eventually.
Yeah,
I would imagine. Yeah, so of course. The pizza we were talking about, I think I mentioned it before, but it bears repeating because it's amazing. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Is the pizza from Costco. And I think, where did we go? Was it when we went? No, it was the Sunday that we went to H Mart to get groceries. And on the way back, we were like, oh, we should get a pizza for lunch. We were going to do it for lunch. And Donnie has always gotten it in the past. This is my first time going, and for some reason, I don't know why, it didn't occur to me that they make it fresh right there. So anyway, they do. So you place the order on a little like kiosk. It looks like almost like an ATM, not an ATM machine. Yeah, like almost like an ATM machine. Anyway, so you place your order for what you want, and it prints out a code with the ticket number on it, and they'll call your number when it's ready, and they tell you like about how long it'll take. So ours, it was like 15 to 20 minutes. So we walked around Costco, and that's where I found the tiramisu, John. It's like the best find ever at Costco. But anyway, the pizza is so good, and it's only $10, and it's huge. And it's really big. And when we get it, it's like enough for 2 meals. And Jack, before yesterday, didn't like it. So it was always just me, Donnie, and Kaylee. And it would be like, we'd have it for dinner, and then it would be enough the next day for me and Kaylee to have lunch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the pizza I was talking about. It's the leftover from last night's dinner. It's going to be tonight's dinner because Donnie's working late. So,
but Jack tried it and now he likes it too.
Yeah. So now it's going to be a $20 pizza.
Because he only eats cheese. He doesn't like pepperoni.
Right. We like the pepperoni. You see what happens when you have kids, John.
At least he tried the pepperoni.
Yeah, he did try the pepperoni. He didn't like it, but you guys, we've talked about this before. He's super like picky, and like when he finds things that he likes, like he just sticks to it. Mm-hmm. So whenever he likes something new, we're just always so happy, especially when it's something the rest of us eat, because then it's like, less money we have to spend for 2 different dinners or preparing 2 different dinners. So anyways, that's what's waiting for me when we're done with this podcast is some leftover pizza.
Yeah, get some of that pizza. How you gonna reheat it?
Microwave. Sorry, like I feel like I just disappointed you.
Try. No, it's fine. I would say. I don't think like you need my advice, because who needs advice? I usually don't even reheat pizza. I just eat it cold.
Oh.
But it's good.
No.
But yeah, I would say like in the microwave, do you reduce the power at all?
No, but we do it for like 45 seconds.
I do mine for like a minute.
And it's...
Because otherwise it's still kind of too cold.
For me...
It's less than a minute.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me keep it real. I do a minute. That's what I put in there. But sometimes I get hungry and I can't wait.
And you just figure out before it's done.
Because like I have like a thing, like it depends on what else I'm doing in the kitchen, right?
Oh,
so I'll put it in there and I'll do a minute. And then maybe I'll get my paper plate. Or, no, well, it's already on the plate.
Yeah.
I'll get like my paper towel, and I get a drink. And then if the minute isn't up...
By the time we're done with the other stuff.
So fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, which is good enough. So sometimes it's like 45 seconds is my point. But yeah, about a minute. But it's still like good. Like it's not overdone. But I will say I prefer the oven, like to reheat pizza in the oven. But 1, it's too fucking hot for that. 2, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm too greedy to wait.
Well, I would say that in order of like my preference, I still think doing it on the stovetop, like in a pan, is what I prefer to reheat pizza. And then I would say like an air fryer.
I haven't tried the air fryer. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
We gotta clean it.
No, maybe I won't do that
tonight.
I won't do that tonight. Never mind.
And then I would say the microwave, but then like reduce the power by like half, and then just it takes longer, but it doesn't cook it
too much. Yeah,
as like
hard.
Yeah, like because I find that it gets a little tough in the microwave.
Yeah, and I will say. Most of microwaves, I think ours does, has a pizza button, and I wonder if that's the purpose. Like if you do that, then it reduces the power. Yeah. Maybe I'll try that and see if it's different. So, folks,
I do. While we're shooting here.
Okay. Look how long he's keeping me from my pizza. But go ahead. Because now we talked about it, and now my ass is hungry. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Hey, you talked about it first. I did want to ask you, Kaylee. Are you playing Overwatch now that Overwatch 2 is out?
Yes. Can I go on a rant?
Oh my god.
Yeah, go for it.
See what you did, John. I'm gonna put my head. I'm gonna go heat a pizza, and I'll be right back. I can hear the rant from the kitchen, and I've probably heard will it take 45 seconds?
Because I was just going to say, like, because when it first came out, I couldn't play it right away.
I'm legit going to go heat up my pizza. Go ahead.
Yeah, go. I'll keep talking.
Okay.
But, and I was upset because I've been playing since day 1, technically since before day 1 of Overwatch, when the first game came out. Because I remember when I first discovered it, Daddy was playing it, or he had it on the Xbox, and it was like before the game was officially released. It was like early access, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck is this?" And I played it, and I found out like when I started playing it, it was also the last day early access was available, so I only had 1 day to play it.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was just so frustrating because I was also when I was like still in school, so like I had to do schoolwork in the middle of the day, and I was like, I just want to get back to playing Overwatch, so I had to rush through my schoolwork. And then I
didn't have to.
And then I had like rushed back to Overwatch, praying it was still up. And then like a few days to like a week later, it finally dropped, and I've been playing it ever since. And so the game has been out, and I didn't notice until like I searched it up the other day, but the game's been out for like 6 years already. And I was like, wow, it's really been that long. But like the entirety of these 6 years I've been playing, none of my friends played it, so I always played by myself. But now that Overwatch 2 is here and it's free, my friends are finally like, oh, well, if it's free, I guess I'll play it. And like, finally learn why you love this game so much.
Are they better than you?
No. They're not better than me.
No, come on. Come on, don't be crazy. Don't be ridiculous, Nina. Come on.
But, like, I finally have friends to play with, so I'm, like, super happy. But, like, I couldn't play it the day Overwatch 2 dropped. Because I was having problems, like, getting my account set up. And so I finally got to play it, like, for the first time, like, 2 or 3 days ago. And I've been playing it pretty much nonstop since. I haven't played it all today, though. So I'm proud of myself. I held up for today. Are you almost done with your pizza?
I'm coming!
Well, I got back into it.
Now this dog is going to bug me for my pizza. This is the worst podcast ever. This is so terrible.
You keep interrupting, John.
Oh, sorry.
I stopped playing Overwatch a little while ago, and then when I recently bought an Xbox, and then I was like, oh, Overwatch 2's coming out, and I might as well get back into that, and then so I did, and now I've been playing it a lot.
It's fun. Like, it's so fun.
It was nice because I merged my account, and it was like, oh yeah, you're level whatever the fuck I am. And I was like, no, I'm not anymore. Like, I suck now. Stop putting me with people who are better than me.
When Kaylee, like, plays with people, like, lower level than her, like, you had something where, I don't know if you had, like, something. And so sometimes you would play with people.
Oh, yeah, because I started a new account on your Xbox account.
Yeah. So
I don't remember why.
Her skills are high. But it was like she had to build up, and they were putting her with, new folks. And she was like, I feel so bad. And I was like, you should.
Bullying.
Yes, it's so bullying. You imagine it's like new people, and they're probably like, what the fuck? This game's too hard. I'm not doing this.
I mean, I felt the same way because when I did start playing on Xbox, at first I hadn't merged my accounts. Mm-hmm. So it was like I had just started. And even though I haven't played in a while, I was still decent, and so I was playing against people who apparently have never played before, and I was like, yeah, I'm still good. And then I'd started playing with people who are significantly better than I am. And I was like, this isn't fun anymore.
See? Okay. Let me put my pizza down.
That freshly warm pizza.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell everybody why we're here. We are here to talk about, pizza. And we will be talking about every week, pizza and Ranking of Kings. So Ranking of Kings is an anime that came highly requested. Should we give him a treat?
Okay. You already have him today. I don't remember.
Should we give him some peanut butter?
You said the word, and he looked at you.
I'm an idiot. I should have spelled it.
Pizza.
I just gave him a little bit of pepperoni, but I'm worried that he's going to start barking.
Whining.
Mm-hmm. He's been really quiet this whole time and behaved. Well, and then I heated up pizza, so it's my fault.
As long as you're continuously eating, he'll be quiet, so you talk with your mouth full.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to be covering Ranking of Kings. This came highly requested. We had actually watched a few episodes of this just to see what it was about and to see like what the fuss was about and if it's something that we would like. And hadn't planned on covering it, but it came requested by one of our time travel subscribers, Joshua. And he actually gave me the order in which we should cover it, which I'll talk about in a second. I got to pull it up. It's in my private messages. Oh, sorry. Give him a treat. while I... Oh. He's so offended. He's like literally side-eyeing me. So we're going to be covering it like in little mini arcs, the first season. So today we're going to be talking about the intro episodes, as Joshua calls them, episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'll say the titles in a bit. And then going forward, we're covering them in 2 and 3 episode blocks. There's the journey, which Bojji left for at the end of episode 3. There's some training, there's going to be a war, and then there's post-war. Ooh. So that's the arc order that we're going to be covering, and I will post on the schedule what those specific episode numbers will be. But for today, it's just episodes 1, 2, and 3. This, again, came highly requested. Not like Joshua made the official request, but people have been asking about this, asking us to cover this in our Facebook group for months now. And the one thing people, besides the fact that I guess the main character everyone just falls in love with, but the one thing people all agree on is that the writing and the twists and the turns of the story are just really, really good. That it's very well written. So I was excited to start, and I was excited to start and share it with John, because again, it's been a bit since the three of us covered a show together, and I don't know, I just thought something about the content of this show John might like. So with that said, we're going to start with John.
Yeah. I fucking love shadows.
I was about to say something else, but it would have been so bad.
You can't say that and then not say it.
I can't. Mm-mm.
All right.
It's the most tasteless joke. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Yes.
I liked it.
Uh-huh.
I liked it. It was really good. I did. Yeah, obviously, like, Bojji is... I mean, it's a great character. It's a very interesting character. I think Kage is also a very interesting character. But, like, all of these characters are really interesting, right? Like, I feel like that's something that it's really strong, and I feel like a lot of anime is like that, where you begin the show and, like, immediately you feel like all the characters are well defined, oftentimes. I mean, I have not watched as many anime series as y'all have, but I do feel like that's been something that I've seen in a lot. That's a common theme, I guess, throughout these shows. Is just like very quickly, a lot of the characters are just really well defined, and so I think they do that here, and I think it's very interesting. It's like, I mean, I'm a layman in anime, of course. So I would say that, like, comparing this to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball is like a very, like, it's like, really, you're gonna compare everything to Dragon Ball? But it is similar to Dragon Ball. I mean, you know, Bojji is very similar to young Goku.
How so?
So I like that. Well, like that he's very skilled, unexpectedly so, and he's a very small child who is very skilled, you know, and people underestimate him. And
does he also have a dick stepbrother?
Not until very late, until much later.
There's always a dick stepbrother in anime, I guess.
I mean, because you know, like Vegeta, technically, but. Yeah, so I yeah.
So you're not disappointed. That's it. I was scared that I was gonna that you were gonna start it and be like, why did I agree to this? But you like it.
I did not expect to dislike it, but I was worried that I would watch it and be like, I don't know what I'm gonna say about this. You know, I was
understandably,
like,
yeah.
Is there anything that I could ever bring to any discussion about this show? But I think there is some stuff here.
Yeah,
because it does feel like there are shades of I mean, not like Game of Thrones, but like that type of storytelling.
Yes, no, oh my God. I was going to say, one of the things, again, I kept hearing about the show, it was like, and again, it's what got me to cover Avatar after all this time, because that final season of Game of Thrones was so disappointing. And people were like, look, you want to see some good storytelling, like Game of Thrones could never do this, you should watch Avatar. But then people were saying the same, and people were saying the same thing about this. And so I did notice I don't really remember how much I took note of the first time we watched it. For instance, so much of this stuff I did not remember. Like, I was like, what the fuck? And we'll get there.
You kept being like, I don't remember any of this. I'm like, really? This is like such important stuff. You don't remember any of this?
Bojji? Now who is this?
Like, which one is he again?
He's deaf?
I was like, yeah. I was just like, I don't have anything. Sorry, you're just gonna be upset because I don't have anything.
Yeah, your plate.
Oh, the empty plate? Okay.
Is it empty?
Yeah.
Let him smell the plate.
Go put this away while I say what I was gonna say.
You're just holding this plate and you're like, you're eyeing me.
I'm gonna throw it away while I say this part. But yeah, there are some similarities. You don't need to be here for this part anyway because you never watched Game of Thrones. For instance, the opening with Bojji, that was very Bran. Like scaling the walls. And I was like, I just hope he doesn't walk in on some incest and get pushed out of a window. Poor Bojji.
I mean, and that's the kind of thing is like with anime, you don't know if what is the age level of this. That could have happened.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, we just watched one called Chainsaw Man, which we're going to be covering, and I didn't know what I was getting into. And a few of those shows on that list, I can't remember which one it was. She had me watch something. She was like, "You're going to love this, John." It was so fucking gory and like explicit. I was like, why did you think I would like it?
I didn't realize you were so retarded.
I did not like it.
I think you would like the story.
Well, that first episode was a lot. It felt like it was like shocking to be shocking.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt when I watched it.
Oh.
But I still watched it. I was curious.
Okay.
And I ended up watching the entire thing in one night.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, John. Were you done with your overall thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I felt like the few action moments were good. And then like there's some sad shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I absolutely cried.
Did you?
Yes.
I cried when
You
watched it
didn't?
for the first time. Like those months.
No, I don't know if I don't know. This time, I don't remember the first time at all. But this time, because one of the main things like I did not remember was that shit with Kage and his mom and all that, like that whole backstory. I was like, where the fuck was I? I was like, who is this dude having him doing breaking and entering? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I absolutely didn't remember any of that shit. So that was like, like my first sad reaction. I didn't cry, but I did get like, I just thought it was really fucked up. I got more choked up when
Rob stuff.
I got more choked up whenever Bojji cried. Like that time, you know what really choked me up? When he went in his room and cried and then like put on a brave face and went back out and Kage was like, oh wow, this is what he does. That just fucked with me, but okay.
Well, what got me was the end of episode 2. When Kage's like, I'm with you no matter what.
Oh, Nico, come here. I'm sorry. Come here, Nico. Sorry about that. We cannot trust him in the bathroom alone. So I was going to say, wait. If that's the moment that got you, then you probably cried. Like you cry at Rudy, right? No.
I mean, I might have. I haven't seen it in a long time. I might have.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Really quickly. I read something really, really sad on Wikipedia. Not reading the plot.
Okay.
But I just saw this Bojji's name. Do y'all know where his name comes from?
Mm-mm.
It is a wordplay on the Japanese word bochi, which means someone that does not have any friends.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You could have kept that to yourself.
Hey, listen, I had to read it. You had to listen to it.
Holy
Anyway,
shit.
what about your thoughts?
now I'm ready to cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Kaylee, what did you think the second time around?
Well,
Oh, just to be clear, so we have seen.
up to episode 8 at least.
You think?
It was when we pulled it up. It said start episode 9. I don't think we.
But that doesn't.
Episode 9.
Boy, but that really doesn't mean anything because you know me and putting shit on and falling asleep.
Well, no, because we remember how it ended. We remember the last episode we watched and how it ended. The cliffhanger.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I remember that big thing, but I didn't think that it happened. Honestly, I was like, oh, the next 2 episodes, that's going to happen. That's why I don't feel like I watched that many episodes.
I remember.
Well, I mean, you didn't remember episode 1.
I know.
There's like, yeah.
No, more episode 2 is the episode I remember much of episode 1. Episode 2, a lot of that Kage stuff, I was just like, where are we? To the point I paused it. I was like, did I start episode 6 or something? Like, what is this? Anyway. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Kaylee.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you watched quite a few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say, when we first watched this, you were watching it by yourself at first. Do you remember?
I bet, girl.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that was a dumb question.
I don't even know what today is. Keep going.
You were watching it, and I just happened to be like in the room while you were watching it. I think it was in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was in the living room. But you would just while we're watching it, I'm just sitting there chilling on the bed next to you, and you're just constantly giving like loud commentary on what we're watching. So I had no choice but to be invested, even though I wasn't watching.
Like what? Really? I do not remember. I must have been high.
And I think
Now we come to the. This
There
makes
you go.
all the sense in the world. Okay, continue.
I think you put on the first episode because I think like at some point I was like, okay, now I'm interested. Let's start from the beginning. So you put on the first episode again after you had like watched the second or third episode. So we started watching it together properly. So that's what I remember from the first time we watched it. And I also remember really liking the songs, and I still like the songs.
Oh my god, I love the song.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're so good.
But this time, I'm surprised by how much I remembered. Like,
I'm not.
I mean, I don't know. Just
When it comes to anime, I swear to God, if she could market whatever this is, John, we'd be rich.
the skill of
Yes.
just remembering anime.
Yes, and the voice actor, they say one fucking thing. If you're like, hello, sir, and she'd be like, do you know who that is? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Can he maybe say more than 4 syllables? Fuck.
I can recognize voice actors just by them like grunting or gasping.
Yes.
It's-
And she'll be like, that's so-and-so from Attack on Titan, who's also so-and-so from Demon Slayer, and also this person from Devil May Cry Baby. And I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it.
Listen, you just don't know what fandom means, Nina.
Clearly I'm in the wrong business.
But yeah, this I really like it. I want to say I'm not sure if this is something I would personally watch on my own, but I am enjoying it. It's just like not like
Get out of here.
typically the kind of anime I would watch.
Yeah, not enough gore.
Yeah, I was about to...
Well, it's kind of gory.
But, I'm trying... As you were saying that, I'm just nodding in agreement, but also trying to keep this panting dog...
Yeah, he's distracting me.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. Yeah, but as you were saying that, I was like, yeah, I could see that, but I'm trying to, I think it's for the same reason that I think you would like the story of Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And I think you would like a lot of the action of Game of Thrones. but I can't get you to watch Game of Thrones. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like this, this
like
is not
the
something you would have done just like you just said, on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, it's like the setting,
Mm-hmm.
the type of genre it is, I guess. Like, it's an interesting story and I like it, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like my favorite.
I get it.
thing
I
ever.
get it.
But I am liking it. I want to say the art style is very like child book like.
Yeah. So yeah. Child book.
Like,
Children's book.
Children's book. Yeah. Childlike, but children's book like.
Continue.
And so, like, because, like, if you look at it, like, the line
Kids
art,
these days with their slang.
the line art looks like it's drawn in, like, pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks like it's drawn in pencil and colored in with, like, crayons or colored pencils. But,
And we talked about that. I felt like some stuff looked like it was just, like, watercolor. Like
Like a golden book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah. Jesus, they just took me way back. Kaylee don't know what the fuck we talking about.
no, I was like, took a sip of my drink because I'm like, I got nothing to say.
Wait, can I pause before we can go any further? John, speaking of good, you got to trust your girl on this one, okay? You trust me?
No.
Come on, John. You got to trust your
what?
girl. You need to fucking watch House of the Dragon. This shit is what Game of Thrones wanted to be. Trust your girl. Trust your girl. Patty Considine, every week on the podcast, I'm like, who plays King Viserys? He's going to get an Emmy. He's going to get an Emmy, and you're going to want to know why he got that Emmy. Trust me. When I tell you, this is what Game of Thrones wanted to be. It's so good. Like, it's so good, or Patty is so good. It's really good. But back to Patty.
That's all you've been saying.
It's so good. Like, because I can't.
It's really good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, I trust you.
I don't want to give like details, but I just want him to trust me. But I was going to say, he's so good in it that I almost want to go back and watch The Outsider.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I kind of
No,
do.
you don't. You can go back and watch him in that other fucking show.
What was the other show we know him from?
3 days or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, I didn't finish that. You did. You just need to tell me the plot and get it over with. Or maybe I'll just go look it. Okay, I'll go look it up on Wikipedia later. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, John, you just gotta trust your girl. It's so good, it's so good. Okay, go ahead, Kaylee. You done?
I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, now I remember. Okay. I wanted to say that despite how, like, bright it looks, it is surprisingly dark.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, a lot of more blood than I thought there would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that fight between those two guys.
Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, what is happening? And you were like, you don't remember this? And I was like, no, I don't fucking remember this.
It was like, this show, it's very surprising because it like you said, Kaylee, it's very bright, and it just begins like very much like a children's book, and then like out of nowhere, like this like oddly shaped shadow creature.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, what the hell is this going on? And then there's like magic healing, and I'm like, okay, and it's like a 3-headed snake that's like 1,000 feet tall. Well, 2-headed now, okay. But and I was what? And then like.
Yes.
This guy who's like sinking into the sand, and it's like, okay, he's not dead.
Yes.
Or he's not dead for a while. He's going to come back, presumably. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? I thought this was just like a kid.
Yes, that's why, and that's exactly why. Anyway, this is why I thought you would enjoy it. Like, and just not just because the character, like, I really thought you would dig Bojji and his journey, but these other elements. It's just really interesting, right? All right, so let's talk about it before I put this dog up for adoption.
Can we talk about the voices?
Yes. Like, yes. I'm just so proud of myself because when I recognize a voice, so.
You always recognize Bryce Patten both these days.
Yeah, he's Eren from Attack on Titan, the lead in that.
You know, Escape from Demon Slayer.
Yeah, he's also in No Escape from Demon Slayer. And in this, he is, oh my god, what's the guy's name?
Starts with an H.
Yeah, hold on.
It's a surprisingly
Hokuto.
It's a surprisingly Japanese
Sure,
name
yeah.
compared
Yeah.
to all the other characters.
Yeah.
Bojji is a Japanese name.
Yeah. And it means he who has no fucking friends.
There's the voice of the brother. Do we know his name?
Daida.
Right.
Daida.
He is Deku from My Hero, the main character. And I haven't looked it up, so I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the mom, the stepmom, is also from My Hero. I think she's Uraraka, the Gravity Girl.
All right, hold on. I'm going to see if you're right. Hold on.
Because I told you, and you didn't believe me.
No, yeah, you said that, and I was like, bullshit.
Because she sounds so different. But there's, like, some lines that she says, or her voice, I'm like, it sounds similar to her. Like, I can kind of hear it.
Yeah, excuse me, because I had to go through both the English and Japanese. They don't have it.
But that's, like, all the voices, like, I can, like, recognize right off the bat, like, where I can, like, think of who else this voice actor has been in. I'm sure there's other voice actors I know in here, but I don't, like, know their names, or I haven't been paying enough attention to.
So the Queen, Healing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is voiced by Lucy Christian, who is the voice of Satsuki Shinohara in Classroom of the Elite, which is something you're currently watching, Kaylee. She's Joy in Shenmue, which I just don't think I'm ever going to get, and I do not believe they ever made that third video game. She is Ochako Uraraka in My Hero Academia. You were absolutely right. See what she's just...
She was also Honey in Oran High School Host Club.
Honey.
It's been so long since I've watched that already.
I used to be one of your favorites. As a matter of fact, I think... Did you send her the mug? One of our mugs is there. Yeah.
Possibly.
Might have been a present from John. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Now you got me like scrolling through, seeing what else she's done. She's done so much. She has like over almost 500 credits for her name.
So y'all watched with English or Japanese?
English.
The only voice actor that I recognized was Sungwon Cho.
Oh, so
who I think we've talked about before. I watched it with English. Sungwon Cho plays which one? Kage, the older voice of Kage.
Ah, okay.
He's a YouTuber and he became a voice actor.
There was something about his voice that I thought sounded familiar, but maybe now it's definitely not something I knew. I saw something and I wanted to mention it and then I lost it. I'm trying to scroll back through her credits to see. Okay, never mind. Oh, here, I'm glad I kept going. She's Nami in One Piece.
I knew she was in One Piece. I was just going to say she's probably someone in One Piece, one of the main. She's either Luffy or Nami.
Yeah. No, Luffy is Momo from My Hero. Yes, right.
I mean, there have been like 900
so-and-so.
episodes of that, right?
Oh, God, what's his name?
Over 1,000 episodes.
Zodo?
Zoro.
He is All Might from My Hero.
I feel like One Piece is kind of like Law and Order. Like, everybody's been on it at some point.
Yeah, that's so true. That's such a good way to put it. All right, so y'all ready to talk about this episode? Or these episodes? Okay, so episode 1 is The Prince's New Clothes. We're introduced to Bojji, who is... what did I write here?
Can you not read your handwriting?
He's like Bran. Yeah, I couldn't read my own handwriting for a second, which we kind of talked about. He's scaling the walls of the castle, like parkour-y in a way. Like he was like defying all kinds of gravity.
Yeah, it looked like he was It was like a flat wall, but it looked like he was like just hopping down.
Yeah, it's just like doo doo doo.
Yeah.
And he gets his pockets ran for his pockets by this shadow. This little. And like, we didn't learn in these 3 episodes how he went from where we last saw him in his flashback, right? To like that guy dying in the bar fight. And then being on the side of the road, sticking up children for their clothes.
No, they just showed like a time lapse where he aged.
Okay. I didn't remember.
Like
that.
he just like they showed like his eyes like getting madder and like,
More hardcore.
Okay. I got it. And Kage is the shadow. So there was like a few scenes where I was like, what do people see exactly?
Or you think they just don't see him or see him as something
I was like,
else?
or is he just like, does he look like a shadow? Or does he look like what he looks like to us, which is like 2 ink blots with eyes? And so when he was like going through the streets with that toy, I was like, does it just look like that toy is like riding on a shadow down the street? Like, or do they see his hands and stuff? Like, anyway.
I imagine
they got to see his hands.
Yeah, I imagine like because he's a shadow, he's just hard to notice.
But he comes from what they call the Shadow Clan. So I mean, they are, because he's not. I know what we see what happens in his flashback, but he's not supposed to be like the last of his kind or anything like that, right?
I think he is.
Oh, this just got way more depressing.
That's implied that he is
I
the
think
last one.
it could be possible that there are more somewhere else, but I think he is the last of the ones in this area. Or
this
whatever.
kingdom, wherever we are. Yeah. Okay. What were you going to say, John? I think I cut you off.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that we can assume that they see him as we see him because Bojji is able to read his mouth.
That's right.
A little claw thing.
Yes.
I guess it's his mouth.
Yeah,
He says
yeah.
it's his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, don't be racist, Kaylee. He knows his own experiences. If he says that's his mouth, that's his mouth. But Kage ends up following Bojji home, and Bojji, believing like the story, he just gave him his clothes. He's proudly walking through the streets in his drawers.
I like how.
Now, go ahead. Sorry, Kayla, go ahead.
I was gonna say I like how fast Kage seemed to pick off on Bojji and like his mannerisms. He could immediately tell that he can't speak, but also he could immediately tell that he couldn't hear, which wasn't something I would have like immediately picked up on. I would just assume this kid is mute. Like I wouldn't be able to assume he couldn't hear me. But and then he was like also able to quickly tell what he was trying to convey, and then he was also like it amazed me how fast they could communicate with each other. Like the first time we met,
Instant besties. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because then in episode 2, then you see Kage's history, and then it kind of fits that they're similar people from similar experiences.
Especially these
being,
scenes
like,
of
put
them.
down on and stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say the two of them kind of walking through the streets and how people treat them, because he is, very much, how is he the prince, and doesn't he know that he's walking around with his clothes on? Later we hear when they show they gave us a lot in these 3 episodes, but like the change in the queen and the stepmother, like at one point she says something.
What the fuck happened to her?
I know. What the fuck is up with this? She was like, "You embarrass yourself at least 3 times a day," and I was like, "What the fuck? How we get here?"
Like she had her own kid, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
no.
like
But what I was going to say is, if this were made in like 1988, then he would have taken off all of his clothes, because that is what happened in Dragon Ball, and Goku is completely naked multiple times in that series.
I don't know where I that's not where I thought we were going. I thought he was going to name some 80s movie or say something like, because in the 80s they like showing dicks and butts, so I don't know, but he just...
Well, they did, apparently.
This is true.
But yeah, so like when Kage was like, take off your clothes, I was like, no, not again. But then he stopped, and I was like, yeah, this was made in 2021. It's better.
So this is what they called the Kingdom of Bose. Am I saying that right? B-O-S-S-E. I think it's the Kingdom of Bose or Bose. And we get the flashback of how the father became the king. Mm-hmm. And this village was basically being attacked by orcs.
It's like fucking... I was like, this is Robert Baratheon over here.
Yeah, I know. And so he became the king, and he's currently ranked 7th. Is that correct?
I don't remember any of this.
You know, because the whole show, the ranking of kings, and when they show him in the bed, when we first see him, because I didn't get how big he was.
He's a giant.
That he's a giant, like from maybe because I'm stupid, but just from when Bojji walked into the room. It wasn't until like they did the hand thing, and I was like,
when he was opening the door to the king's room, it was like a giant door. But
no,
then, like, he came in through the really tiny door.
Nope.
That was built into the giant
door. Nope. Missed that.
When you started saying I didn't get it, because I didn't get it either at first, but when I didn't get it was when the fighting scene. Because it was kind of abstract, and he was kind of fighting, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But then, like, it was very clear that he was very big in the room.
No, I don't know what. I don't know. It's anime brain. I was like, okay, he's just really big, but not, like, giant big.
Especially with the guy standing beside the bed.
Wasn't paying no mind. Nope.
So what, did they draw them badly? Like, what happened?
Just thought this is a big dude. Kind of like how in Hunter x Hunter, Kilo's dad is just ridiculously big. Yeah, it's just like, and it's like inhumanly big, but it's accepted because it's just how big. I was just thinking this is a big dude, but then
it's very Thanos.
Yeah. But then when he puts his hand, I was like, Jesus Christ, like his dad is literally a giant. But in that scene, they put above him, like they put it in Japanese and then in English, you know, what his name is. And it was like he's currently, I thought it said 7th in the whole ranking of kings. Like the whole, the king. I don't remember. I don't remember. And so here's the thing. When that little bastard Daida is like, I've decided I want to be the number 1 ranked king or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's when I remembered, oh, that's right. That's where the title comes from and all of that. And that explains when we saw the dad, there was the 7th. So this is what my brain was thinking. And I just thought, oh, they must have said it and you missed it, Nina. But I think maybe they'll explain it in the next, because I do remember that being a thing.
I would say there's other kings that we're going to meet.
Yeah.
Other
kingdoms. I like when he tells Bojji, he's basically like, you got little soft girl hands. So he tells Domas, his swordsman who trains Bojji, to be more rigorous in his training of Bojji. Kage has been... sorry, go ahead.
It's like, you can beat him. Do it.
Yeah. Some parents did that. They would, like, give the school permission to beat their kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, please do, is what someone would say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that I have any experience with that.
Please beat my child. So Kage has been kind of skulking around the castle, and he's confronted by Bebin, I think his name is, with the dick chin, the balls, like
The snakes.
the snake guy. Yes,
The
it's so
snake
much.
guy.
Well, he also has a dick chin. Leave me alone, right? But and the mustache, yeah.
So many of these character designs are just so like
The
odd.
pointy nose.
Yeah, there was one character when the flashback to
Kage's past.
yes, and the guy rode up on the
Yes.
horse that was
I was like, who is this inbred motherfucker? Is that what you're gonna say? Because that's what I said.
I said to Kaylee, I was like, he looks like somebody like out of One Piece. Like he's so weird. You know what he looks like? He looks like one. I don't know if it's like the Jack or the King on like a playing deck of cards. Like the mustache and the teeth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was. I was like, why does he look like that? But yes, the character design, and then the guy who. Well, I'll wait. I'll save it. But yes, the character.
Like one guy
designs.
looked very evil. Like this, just evil.
So now, when Bebin confronts Kage, we get some. I'm going to see if I understand this correctly. The Shadow Clan were basically like assassins, like Kiloa's family in Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
And
I think
they
were sworn loyalty to
they swore loyalty to a specific king, and then they are accused of betraying that king, right? And were like exiled or murdered and driven out, right?
Kind of like a samurai, a little bit.
So, and then the way he says it, like Bebin, like this is such an interesting character to me because I don't.
can't really tell if he's good or bad.
Yeah. That's why he's interesting.
Yeah. He seems like he's honor driven.
And you know
what I mean?
it's,
Like he's like
Oh no, I was gonna say, in stories like this, it was a big part of Game of Thrones. It was repeated, and it's being repeated throughout House of the Dragon. But I feel like, and I don't watch a lot of like medieval set fiction, so that's really my two main points of reference. But so maybe this is just common, but it feels like you always have characters who are like out for self power, right? Like they want like that's what drives their story. And then you have characters who are like all about the little people, like, and then you have the characters who are just about serving the realm, like whatever, like I don't make the rules, I just follow them type thing. He seems like that type of character to me.
Yeah. There's a guy in the Rings of Power show that's kind of similar to that. I've still only seen 2 episodes of that, but
he's never gonna.
So
watch
anybody
House
who's
of the
listening to
Dragon,
this-
you see.
no, I probably not.
See.
Because I really liked Rings of Power, and I still haven't watched any more of that.
That's what I'm saying. I know he won't. So he ends up getting away, like he throws a knife, right? And that's how he gets away? Kage gets away from Bebin in this scene, the first scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Data challenges Domas. This is the first time we meet him, right?
You pronounced his name wrong.
Data?
It's Data.
Data!
I'm like, what is a character named Data? Like D-A-T-A? Like, what are you
Shut up!
talking about?
Dido,
Ooh, I forgot how much I like Dido. Now I gotta go look up her stuff. Let me write this down. I used to love her stuff, her music. Okay, so
I used to listen to I had a psychology class. This is a tangent. I had a psychology class, and every class we would have like a 15-minute break where we just laid in the floor, and the teacher would play stuff like Dido. And it was like, this is good for your mental health, and I was like, this is good for me being tired all the goddamn time. So.
That's amazing, actually. Dida challenges Domas, the swordsman, to a fight. And you can see
Stop putting your iPad there because it looks like it's about to fall.
No, I was gonna pull it up. I was.
Okay, yeah, it's like stressing me out.
Don't be stressed out. I got it. Hey, I paid for this. Trust me. I'm gonna be careful. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, you can see because later Domas is one of the ones who votes against, but who commits that treason,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but I feel like you could see the moment it starts to happen because he's so impressed by how talented this kid is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like, why couldn't the heir be like this type thing? And it's just sad because he's like one of the few people who can communicate with him because he can sign.
Yeah, he was getting real creepy about it too. He's like, "Oh my god,
Yes,
he's so strong." And so I was like, "Okay, chill out. Like, what? We need a restraining order against this guy." You know, maybe I got Game of Thrones brain, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the show. I don't know if the show is going into this direction or not.
Okay.
But am I crazy in thinking that Daida doesn't look like King Boss or whatever at all, and he kind of looks like Domas or whatever? Am I crazy?
Well, I don't think. Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say no. That is his. Yeah. I don't know, because like I was gonna say, because I don't think that's his real dad, but no, and I remember the mom got pregnant after she married him. So yeah, because I don't know why in my head I was like, this is family of 4, and she had this kid before she married.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like the Brady Bunch. Okay, but, y'all nasty. First of all, what are we doing? Why are we just?
I'm just saying, like, the show seems to get things accurate, but like,
Right.
that kid don't look like he's got any of that giant motherfucker in him. At least Bojji does.
Okay, fair, but like when you said that, you were like, he doesn't look anything like the king, and I'm like, but he looks exactly like the mother. So,
Yeah.
So I was like, that. So it's fine. But then I got what you were saying. You were like, that's saying he looked more like that Tomas. And I was like, wow, I didn't know we were going here. I mean, honestly, that's not as terrible as like I feel like that's a place the show could go based just on the shit that's happened in these 3 episodes alone.
From what we've heard, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like,
For obvious reasons.
We've heard there's a lot of like plot twists. So.
Yeah. So then Bojji spars with Daida and
Kicks his ass. He won that fight.
He really
I'm on
did.
Kage's side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did. He won. But it's so
Stop
cool.
the steal.
He was it's so cool because he was like dodging and then he got that tap in. He's like pat right on top of his head. I was like, oh shit. And then fucking Domas told him he signed to him.
He said this isn't how a king fights.
Oh god, what is that beeping noise? It's gonna make my dog start barking. Okay. He's sleeping. Okay. I was like, what the fuck? Dumbass?
Dumbass. But, I really enjoy that this guard up in, like, the fucking tower or whatever is like, wait a minute, I remember when Bojji dodged those fucking snakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, so it establishes that this isn't like something that Bojji did out of nowhere.
Right.
It's like, this is just like, Bojji has this in him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got that snake in him.
That snake in him.
So episode
giant in him.
Yeah. So episode 2, the Prince and Kage. Oh, what does Kage mean in Japanese, Kaylee?
Shadow. Just fun little fact.
She told me that we were watching. I was like, oh, look at you being all bilingual.
Listen, you get to show
But
off
does
your
it
Korean.
mean...
That's true.
Does it mean a shadow who has no friend?
That just made it all so much more depressing. Great. So episode 2 doesn't go directly back to the sparring, because we at this point didn't know how that was ending or going to end. It begins with this flashback, and we see Kage and his mom fleeing from the Light Clan. What? Hold on.
The Light Clan. I see.
They really should have had white hoods. But oh my god, no.
That's right. This is one of those moments on the show where I was like, oh, this is one of those kind of shows where this guy like says, let there be light or whatever the fuck, and then light just happens. I was like, what? Where did this come from?
And this is after she told Kage to run, right? And when he did that, it was like, I can't even describe like the way they animated it. It was like super fucking bright, and then you just see like that one shadow, her peeking around, and then you see Kage zigzagging his ass off.
Yeah, and they were like, aha!
Yes. Kage is just zigzagging. Oh my god. And okay, so when the mom told him to go on ahead, she didn't plan on ever catching up.
It played like she knew she wasn't going to make it, but then in the scene where she dies, they play it like she didn't, like she thought she was going to make it. And
yeah,
this
that's
is when
what I
she
meant.
realized.
Exactly, because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, she's... Yeah,
I feel like she, from the beginning, she planned on going because, like, I feel like otherwise her goodbye to her son would have been more heartfelt. It would, like, I remember thinking at the time...
But they do that. But they do that when they want to make sure the kid goes.
Yeah, but...
You know what I mean? You make it
audience,
feel like...
It wasn't that impactful for us as an audience. Like, I feel like they'll show something to let us know that she knows that she's not going to make it. But it was just like a regular goodbye. Like, oh, I'll catch up to you later.
Now, am I crazy, or did they not show what she did? Like, how she fucked them up? Because,
They
like...
just showed her holding a bunch of knives.
Right, when it came back, she was like, I sure hope he got away, because...
I love, like,
fuck?
this was,
You just see,
I
like,
love,
two of them dead in front of her, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I love the character design in, like, not just, like, the look of it, but, like, the fact that, like, and they introduced this in the first episode with Kage, the fact that, like, they can just absorb anything, like, into their mouth. And so, like, when you come back to her and she's got those claws on, you're like, oh, she must have dug those out of her fucking mouth and put them on. And it's like, okay, cool. She could probably just pull anything out of there.
Just like Homeboy's mom in the night of.
Just pull anything out of there, yeah.
So this is really interesting because they kill the mom and they're taking her off. And
so fucked up.
this little, you see, like, I know, right? You think Kage is caught because, like, these two, you see the feet of this person. And it turns out it was a little girl, and she hid him in her, like, stuffed animal. And when he sees his mother going off with the men who just killed her, he starts to cry, and the little girl starts to cry to cover it up. To cover up the sounds of his crying. And then I didn't catch this guy's name, and I'm thinking I have King Bo?
I think
That's
Bojji's dad.
That's Bojji's dad's name, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
This
this clan worked for...
It was for this particular... Oh, okay. See, I didn't... That's why I was like... That's why I have King Bo written with a question mark. Because I was like, what? So this little girl, who is she? Because then she's also protected by someone.
Yeah, she has like her own little... Butler bodyguard.
Yeah, her little Alfred.
She's got to come back.
Right? She's a badass.
Too unique.
Yes. I was like, oh, she's so quick on her feet.
No,
she's
she's
kind.
probably going to be older. We don't know how much time has passed.
Right.
Yeah. It was just so fucked up because like I didn't expect to see his mom and her like dead body.
Me, like hanging like pelt or something. It's just
yeah.
I
was just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
John is like, what
And
do you
then
got
he
me
sees
watching?
Yeah. I'm like, what is this trauma? And he sees it. And I'm like, why are we seeing him see this?
And he starts wailing.
Yeah, and then like it's so fucked up because like, yeah, she covers for him, she saves him, and like all that. But then they're just like, all right, child, see you later.
See you later. Good luck.
Yeah, no, you
You
just saw your mother dead. It's like, what?
Nothing we can do for you. Everything we could do, we've done.
Like we couldn't keep him.
Take your little toy and get on.
So this man ends up using him. He would like it was so. First of all, he's a child, so it's just terrible. But like, even if it was like, okay, you do some household chores. And you can, I'll split my food. No, it was like he was giving him not just leftovers, but like rotted leftovers. It's like, were you purposely waiting until this food went bad? Because it had like flies all around it. I'm like, what are we doing? Oh, it was so terrible. I hated this so much.
Yeah, I related it to like Les Miserables or something.
Mm-hmm.
Where she gets, adopted by the family that's just like using her, and then like it's also like it's Dickensian, right? It's like Oliver fucking Twist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so like children being like exploited,
and
it's just like so bad.
And you see that he like became attached to this man.
Because he was so starved for affection.
God, it's so sad. After the man started using him to like break into people's homes and steal stuff. He kicks him out.
That's how because like what happens because he was so fucked up, right? Because he was so hungry. And she was like, "Can I please trade my toy? That is the only thing I have."
The only thing I have from my mom.
And then this woman's like, "Come back when you have money."
Right, that's why I have in my notes, people are terrible.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna leave my toy here and I'll take this apple." And they're like, "No, fuck you," and they beat his ass up.
Threw him in an alleyway.
So then this guy is just like, "Here's my fish bone. You just come over here and I'll take care of you, kid." This is like, Jesus. And it's like, where's this van with candy in it? Like, what the hell?
Why do you have me laughing at this?
It's fucked up. I didn't make the show.
This was not funny when I watched it. Oh my god. So he becomes so attached to this man, even after the man kicked him out, that when the man dies in a bar fight, I think.
Yeah.
Because I looked away. I was like writing notes or something, and I looked up and I just heard somebody. I looked up when I heard somebody say, "Imagine going out like this" or something. I look up and there's like a
pitiful death.
There's a knife sticking out of his chest, and I'm like, "What the fuck happened?"
It was so like,
Nico.
I was like, this man got exactly what he deserved.
This show is so miserable sometimes.
Because like this guy just kind of bumps into him, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're gonna get it now," and then he starts picking on this like smaller guy, and then he just gets stabbed, and it's like, yeah, that's what you fucking get. Like, he gets stabbed.
But poor Kage was so sad about it, and I was like, oh. And the people in the bar is like, get the hell out of here, just like.
Yeah, this is so, like, it's so Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you remember that Disney's Pinocchio, and it's just so, like, I don't know, it's another thing where a kid is just, like, treated like garbage.
I was going to say, you're going to think of, like, every show or movie where just little boys are treated like shit.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like it's a trope. Like it's almost like it's a storytelling trope.
So yeah, then we're back to present day, and we see the outcome of the sparring in the yard, where Domas forces Bojji to change up his strategy, and he loses.
I fully thought this episode, because when it came back to this, I was like, oh, this episode is going to end the same way the first one did. And just with us seeing Bojji get that one hit. And
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then episode 3 is going to be the outcome.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. And this is where I first wrote down the name Appease, because he's the one in the balcony with.
He's standing on a rooftop of a tower nearby, all dramatically, for no reason.
What?
You don't remember? He's just standing on the roof of a building.
Appease?
Yes!
He's not the person talking.
He was just
Batman?
like,
No!
Who was talking to himself? Oh, I don't remember that at all. Jesus Christ! I gotta stop taking notes.
He was doing just such, like, this is such, like, an anime thing. And again, I say that as someone who doesn't watch a lot of anime. But
he's like, but this is just like that guy on the roof in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, just like that guy. No, this honestly reminded me of, Castle of Cagliostro, the Hayao Miyazaki movie. It was just very, like, this guy just standing on a pole.
I thought you were going to say, like, Batman.
Like, on the rooftop. He was Batmaning, kind of, in the middle of the day. It was so weird. I was like, okay, this made sense. Like, in this setting, it made sense.
And then, as if this shit wasn't weird enough, Daida has a fucking magic mirror. He goes storming in his room. He's like, magic. And so here's the deal. We had the closed caption on. So he goes in the room, and he's like, what's the meaning of this? You didn't tell me about this. And then they're like, hello, whatever. But the closed caption just says, magic mirror. So I'm like, what? Who is he talking to? Don't you start. Didn't I say don't start? So yeah, he has a magic mirror. And then, apparently, Bebin knows about the magic mirror. Which I was so confused when Bevin was like, what's that magic mirror putting in his head? I was like, okay, was it a gift? Does everybody know this kid has a magic mirror?
Yeah, this is his magic mirror, yeah.
Yes.
He got it for Christmas one year.
Just everybody knows. But
from his dad, dumbass.
Koji this is the end of the episode where shut up. Where Koji I'm a little late because I'm also trying to keep this dog from like barking again. So I'm just like massaging the dog while you're talking. Kage at the end of this episode pledges himself to Bojji. Yeah. It's like, you know what, you're a bad motherfucker. It's like, oh, I'm sorry I took your clothes.
I was like tearing up. I was like, yeah, it's so sad and like emotional. Because they did a good job of being like, hey, you've seen what Bojji went through. Now look at what Kage went through, and now they're going to team up.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, let's team the fuck up.
But then
let's take all these motherfuckers out.
And in the next episode, Bepin is like, your friend had to go away to a farm upstate.
What I loved about that is that Bojji was like, no, he didn't. He didn't do that shit. I know he didn't leave. He wouldn't do that.
I like how...
I'm going to talk to my snake.
He did. He was like, Chancellor, where the fuck is he going? And he just went to visit his snake friend. His 3-headed, 2-headed snake friend. I was like, what the fuck? Nico.
And it was just,
No.
it was just like, it was so, like, I was like, okay, we got a giant 3-headed, 2-headed Cerberus snake here. And then the snake is like, I owe you one, I know. And I was like, what? What happened? How do you, this giant snake, owe this child anything?
And he said something like, I owe, like what he owes. Did he say Bebin?
Her.
Or her?
I think he did. I think he said her.
He said her?
That was what I was
Okay.
remembering.
Okay.
I owe you, but I owe her
also,
more.
yeah. So I was like, what? What?
Yeah, I was like, how does this snake just live in this hole? It can't get out because he barely got in there. Like, where's this snake? I was like, what is this?
Bojji got pretty... Nico, can you move, please? Bojji got pretty messed up in the fight.
Yeah.
And so he's in the bed and the queen comes in, or a woman comes in, and Kage is watching, and he's like, what is she doing? She wouldn't. And you're like, she better not, because it was making things like she was going to smother him with a pillow or some shit. But no, it's just magic green lights and shit.
Oh, he heals him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
What is this
What
show?
the fuck?
And then she took her necklace off, and she was an old lady.
Sorry, Game of Thrones reference. So then Kage is approached by Bebin again, this time with the snakes, right? And he's like, oh, we don't see anything. Right, it cuts from there. And then the king is dead. And I was like, what?
Yeah, isn't that how the third episode starts?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still at the beginning of the third episode. And I was like, he died off screen?
Yeah.
Because when we saw him talking in the prior episode, he was like coughing up blood.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's never good. But like, they off screened him?
Mm-hmm.
And they like when like this red cloud comes out, and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like the devil. I'm like, okay.
And then the devil, like, eeny, meeny, miny mode, and bounced. And everybody took that way too calmly. Like, everybody was like, that happened.
They barely even talked about it.
They're like, let's go read the will.
It's like when the red smoke comes out, we got a new pope.
The Pope chose Bojji, and that queen said, no, he didn't, and ripped that shit up. I was like, she pulled a Cersei.
It's like, what, he used to be a Nazi? We can't have that.
So yeah, the king died off screen, and a demon appeared and did like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, landed on Bojji, kind of giggled, and dipped.
Never said anything.
Yeah,
Nope.
and I was
So then,
like, is this Adult Swim? Like, what happened?
so then, it does feel very, yes. So then Daida goes in his room. He's like, magic mirror, what the fuck was that? And
She's like, I know my business.
right? It's like, just I got this. Just go settle the fuck down. Go beat up on your little brother again, or your older brother.
Yeah, he's the younger one.
That's right. So they take that baby crown from him in a 5-2 vote.
You don't even tell him.
Like, it was so weird the way she did it too, because she was like, everybody who wants to commit treason, keep your hand down.
She said,
Go ahead.
it was like, she said, let's put it to a vote. And then she said, you know, if you want Bojji to be king, here's your finger. Do you know why they did that? Like,
And they had everybody close their eyes,
yeah,
right,
she
around
did
the
it for
table.
us. But do you know why she made them raise their fingers instead of their hands? It's to make it... It's going to sound weird because of what happened afterwards, but it's to make it as anonymous as possible, because like if someone raises their hand, you're much more likely to kind of like feel the movement next to you.
Oh, okay.
Or hear someone
Okay.
moving. And when you're just raising a finger, you're just raising a finger.
Okay.
But then immediately afterwards, she's like, okay, everyone open your eyes and let's see what everyone voted. So it's like, oh.
How many secret votes you been in? What have you been doing?
That's just like, what
I
do
mean,
you assume?
all I was like, oh, this is like Heads Up 7-Up. But they're like, this is like when I was in that anonymous group.
I don't even question. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. I don't know how she knows this, but okay.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
Ah.
That's the only reasonable explanation I can
Oh yeah, cover it up.
Well, okay, because it's kind of like when BTS plays like Mafia, and they're in the same room. They have to like lay down like they're like bowing and praying. They have everybody,
put their hands against the floor so it makes
drum their hands.
Can't hear anybody.
Right. So they're all doing it, and then it'll be like the person who's the Mafia, please like lift your head and vote. And if everybody's making that noise, you can't tell or feel if the person next to you lifts their head up to So okay, all right, okay, Kaylee, we'll take your word for it. So
So you should be queen.
So yeah, they decide, and so the only two people who vote for Bojji are Appease and Sendeo.
Some other idiot.
I don't know what importance he's ever had. Like, as far as I know, this is my first time seeing him.
Listen, I don't know who's going to be important later, so I thought maybe we should just get these names. But it's Appease and Sendeo are the only two that vote for. And so when she has everybody open their eyes, they're like, Tomas, dumbass, how could you? I was like, oh, she's messy. She's so messy.
I would have put my finger down. When she was like, open your eyes. I'm like, my finger was not up. Like, I thought this was supposed to be anonymous. Vote. What are you doing?
So Bebin confronts Kage, and he's like, I know, what your clan is and what they do. Who are you sent to kill? Are you sent to kill?
Who sent you, and who are you sent to kill?
Right. And I think he assumes that it's Bojji, right?
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
So he's like, I want to help Bojji. So you want to help him. Then the very next scene is him talking to Bojji. He's like, do you know what this is? And he draws him. He's like, yeah, that's my friend. He's like, well, your friend's going away forever. Sorry.
Your friend ain't shit.
I was going to say this earlier, but I forgot that the dynamic between Bojji and Kage kind of reminds me of Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, very much so. Daida wants to be number one, so he tells...
Wants to be the very best.
The very
like
best.
No one ever was.
So he tells Bebin to get rid of Appease and Sendeo. He's like, because I know those two that voted against me. He ain't satisfied that he won. Little fucking Targaryen, Joffrey motherfucker.
I like how he wasn't there, but he knows the results of the voting.
Right.
And then he was like, crowned king.
And
they never told Bojji anything. Like, he was sitting there in front of that crowd expecting to be crowned king. And it wasn't until his brother walks up, he's like, what?
And he ran all crying. I hate this so much.
He's like season 1 Sansa.
Right? Yes. We face so many Game of Thrones references. But when he's like, how do you know it was supposed to be anonymous? And then to himself, Bebin, that's when he's like, what has that magic mirror been putting in this boy's head? And I was like, oh shit. Everybody just know he got a magic mirror in his bedroom. That feels dangerous. So then Bojji... Go ahead.
It's so funny because, like, Bebin is like, I don't know, why should I do that? Why we gotta kill him? But then he goes and does it. So, or at least tries to.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's like, okay, I don't want to do this.
So then I'm wondering, like, is he then, like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I can't. I mean, every time I think I, like, understand his motives, then I'm like, then I think of something else he said or did, and I'm like, no, that don't make sense. So Bojji goes to the snake, And why do I have Mitsumata? Is that the snake's name? Okay. And the snake tells Bojji that his friend is on a journey. He made a deal with Beggin. Beggin. He made a deal with Bebin, and he is going on a journey. I was like, what?
Yeah, so it was like, that's true, though. It's got to be true.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
The snake said it.
Yeah. But also, like, this is very Jon Snow going to, like, beyond the wall.
Yeah.
And then the snake tells Bojji, he's like, you're so special and you're loved by so many. And Kaylee was like, really? Because it feels like everybody hates him.
I said I could count on one hand the amount of people that care about him.
But then...
The
Okay.
snake can count on one head.
But then Bebin attacks Appease. Okay, listen. Appease character design, I don't know why, but like if we did this live action, that's totally Ser Jorah, right?
It is very Ser Jorah, yes.
But yeah, like this was so weird because like he was just leaving.
Also, he's also very Batman.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about it. He's very Batman.
But he was just like leaving. I'm assuming he was just like, y'all just did a treason and I want no parts of this. So he was like leaving town. And Appease like walks up on him and then he like runs around him and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? No. Not until Appease was like, I bet you that motherfucker died a cinch. Oh my
It was
God.
like, that was so like, again, like, not like the show that I thought I was watching.
Right.
Because Bebin is just like, all right, time to do this fight. And it's just like action scene. And I was like, where did this come from? I was just looking at a snake talking. Like, and now you're just like running around and doing stabbing shit.
Murder. Yeah, and he like apparently dies but doesn't.
Like, it seemed like he was losing at first. Appease.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this dude is not making it to wherever he thought he was going. I was like, he went against the king, the new tyrant king. He's totally dead. Which is why I freaking was like, when it happened, I was like, oh shit. Because I totally forgot this happened. And you were just like...
I knew it was happening.
And then, like, once Appease kills him, he just, like, picks up his bag like the doctor in Field of Dreams. You remember that, Nina?
Yes.
In Field of Dreams, or he just, like, he picks up his bag like, well, I guess I'm old again. So I'm out of here.
Oh, my God. And then Bebin just sinks into the ground. Like, they don't show it, but it has to be the snake, right?
Because the snake
is underground, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing him back.
So the queen,
Put him into the back to tank.
that's not a game, that's Star Wars. So the queen talks Daida out of what exactly? Like, because this is where she's like, she confronts him on the other two, Appease and Sandeo, right? And then he was like, what are we going to do about my brother or something? And she was like, well, I'm just going to
continue
teach him. She was like, that'll be horrible for him. And he said something like retiring him or something. And I was like, I was like, is she just trying to talk her son out of killing this boy?
Like, I thought he wanted to like exile him or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention to
I wasn't sure like what this was, but I was like, her son ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells Bojji that he can't go on his journey, and he dips anyway. He ties them sheets together.
That was so funny. This was so, like, fucked up, but, like, hilarious. Because, like, he ties the sheets, and you're like, oh, okay, he's going to get out that way. But then they show from a long distance, like a wide shot, and it's not even halfway down
No,
the tower.
no. And she's like, "You're gonna kill yourself," and then he falls.
And then he does.
Yes. And like when she jumped out that window, I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And the guy grabs her by the foot, and then we know that she can do what she can do. And then, but when she runs down there, and the way they drew him when he looked dead. Like
he was dead. He was in the middle of being dead.
No, I think he might have been dead because he was like, the way they drew him, it was so like his eyes were just like hollow sockets. They were just like, Jesus Christ. So she like
the devil was about to jump out of him.
Yes. So she fucking hulks out. I was like, what?
I forgot about that.
She like rips out her fucking dress, and the fucking Queen's Guard dude is like, okay, this is like nobody reacts appropriately in this show. I can never tell if they expected things to happen or not. And then she does her like magic CPR on him, and she's like all huffing and puffing. And then this time he remembers her doing it before.
When he was
healing. Yeah. And like how she had to like stop and like drink something and how it takes like a lot out of her to do it. Yeah.
It's a common trope when people have healing powers. It's always like you can heal people, but at the cost of their own life.
Yeah, yeah.
So it might be something like that.
Yeah. Why didn't she heal the king?
Fuck him. She was like, I don't know. Maybe it was, I don't know. Maybe he's too big. Did you hear what Kaylee just said?
You're right.
It's just like not worth it.
I want my son to be king.
He's got Bojji's little scrapes and stuff. It's not that bad, I guess. So then we get the flashback to her, like after marrying the king, really like trying and succeeding to befriend Bojji and be close to him. And
yeah, we learn why that fucking snake owes Bojji.
Yes, because she killed her. She kicked that fucking snake.
And I guess why the snake owes her more.
Yeah. Because Bojji started crying. Well, first of all, why did the snake bite him? Snake, you kind of got what you had coming.
It's weird and probably just trying to defend itself.
It's like that's his character is like people hurt him, but he's like, no, please, I care about you.
Yeah. So like, what was up with her? Why was she sleeping? Didn't she like fall asleep? No. She fell asleep. She was like sleeping on the bench, which is why she didn't realize he was with the snake. So I don't know. Is they trying to say something? Okay. I don't know if it meant something or if it's just she just happened to.
It'll hint
Listen.
Cancer.
We done had bullying. The boy saw his mama dead. We done had breaking and entering, child labor, murder, treason. I don't know what's going on in this show. Anyway.
Maybe she was just tired of his shit.
Exactly. She's like, this little kid is a lot. She's taking a little nap.
And he don't even like me.
But then she gets pregnant with Daida, and she like completely, after Daida is born anyway, like changes. And not just like, it was like almost instant, because there was like a scene of her cradling a newborn. Mm-hmm. And Bojji coming in and her being like, shh, and like her eyes were all, it wasn't like normal, like, shh, be quiet, the baby's sleeping, like her eyes were all angry. And I was like, Jesus.
I didn't think it was that.
No, go back and watch it. It was.
It was like she was like harsh about it.
She was. No, you're gonna make you go back and watch it and agree.
You were around this scene like 3 times. So.
Oh, because I had to get names and notes, and then fucking Funimation. If like we put the captions on, even though we're watching it dubbed, but Funimation, like if you pause for a bit or the next episode, you got to go reset the captions. Yeah, go put the captions back on. So anytime we had to pause it to do like anything, like when you had to take Nico out, stuff like that. Anyway, so she changes her mind and she tells him that he can go on his little journey, but he has to take Dumbass and Hokuto with him. And
What's that his name?
Hokuto. And take Hokuto with him. And she's like, it wasn't clear where they're going, except she was like, you're going to say hi to my family and then come back. I'm like, what?
I guess like she thought maybe he just wanted to go on a trip. Like,
okay.
To just go somewhere.
Plot twist, like she sent him, it's like 2 hours away.
Over the river and through the woods.
Just a little something to make him feel like he's
like
doing
that
something. Yeah.
Show on Netflix where
Oh yeah. The little Japanese reality show. Yeah.
Go get my groceries.
Go
It's
get,
like Instacart.
you gotta have them. You have your kids buying cigarettes and scratch offs. And then as they leave, there's like this gust of wind, and it blows like a single leaf up to Daida's window, and he just looks happy about, I guess, the fact that
his brother's leaving.
Right. And then she's like,
It's like that meme of the woman looking out the window.
with the curtain.
Yeah,
Really angry. Yes. I always think that she is an actress from a soap opera, but it's not. Just like I always thought that puzzled woman was Julia Roberts. But it's not. It still looks like Julia Roberts. Or that I thought Robert Redford was Zach Galifianakis.
That
Anyway.
one I can understand. The Julia Roberts one, I'm like, it looks nothing like Julia.
If I would show Kaylee if I thought she knew what Julia Roberts is, it's no use. Anyway, the queen is like struck with a sense of foreboding, like she's about to
Lose both her sons.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Well, she's already lost them, is what she said, right?
I don't remember.
I thought it was like something like, kind of like it was like that moment.
Yeah, it's like it's already too late. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then they do that, like, put him in the clouds. They put Daida's, like, silhouette and, like transparent face just in the clouds.
I'm thinking of that, whenever a celebrity dies, there's like that big collage of like dead celebrities.
Welcome to heaven.
It's not fun. Why am I laughing so hard at this? It's so ridiculous. Hold on. I'm going to see if we have any feedback for this. I don't think we do.
Listen, I'm gonna need Joshua to give us some feedback.
Right?
I mean, you asked for the show. Come on, man.
And here it is. So, yeah, we're going to be back next week to talk about episodes, I believe, 4 through 6. So, another 3. And these episodes, 4 through 6. And these episodes, according to Joshua, cover the journey. This trip to Sauron. Is that what it's called? Mordor. One of the two. I don't know. I don't watch that shit.
You don't just walk into Mordor.
I know that meme. I got that reference.
You also don't walk into Sauron either, but that would be a whole different thing.
Also, Joshua, you owe me a proper intro. I'm so glad you said something. I'm reading this email that you sent me. This was like back in May, by the way, when we first talked about doing this. So, Joshua, you owe me a proper intro. This is where the person who requested it just writes in and explains like why they chose it and, all that stuff. So, get that in. You can send it to feedback@projectfandom.com, and that's where everyone can send feedback. for the show. You know what? I'm going to read off right now what the episode order is so you guys can be prepared for that. But I will also put it on the schedule when I post this online. So obviously this was episodes 1, 2, and 3. Next time, like I said, are episodes 4 through 6. After that, we're going to cover the training montage. Yes, and the training episodes are 7 through 11. Yeah. And then we're going to war.
That's 5 episodes. Are we watching 5 episodes at once?
Yeah, why not? No?
I really don't know.
Want to split it up?
No, because you said, like, before this, we were going to be doing, like, 2 to 3 episodes each time, so...
Okay.
I don't mind doing
I thought it was 2 to 3. I'm really looking at the numbers here, and I'm like, wait a minute. All right. The war is a lot, so we should probably talk about that. Now that I'm looking at it, my brain is, like, doing the math. Mm-hmm. The war is from 12 through 21. What's that, 9 episodes? So we probably should break that into. Plus, war is serious business. I feel like we should devote the proper amount of time. We're going to war. Now my stomach hurts. Mm-hmm. This little baby can't go to war. This precious baby.
He'll win.
Yeah, he better. And then we have post-war, which is just 2 episodes. So, okay. Yeah, we'll probably have to split up the war into more digestible chunks.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, there's just 1 season, right?
Yeah, I think it is going to be another season, but this is the first season and it's all that's out.
Okay, that's what I was going to... Was there going to be another one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was renewed. And I didn't... So I happened to... I don't remember what it was. Something on Twitter, you know, my interest. They're like, oh, you might be interested in this. So I started seeing a lot of tweets by voice actors. And this woman had tweeted something, and I went looking at her wall, and I saw that she is the voice of Bojji. And I was like, and I had just watched, and this is probably like back when, like you said, I had watched it on my own, and then I watched it with you. I think it was like in between, like you hadn't even watched it yet. And I was like, you're Bojji? And she wrote me back. She was like, yeah. Her name is Emily Fajardo. I'm not sure. Hopefully I said that right. So since we mentioned voice actors before, I wanted to say her name. Okay, so we will see you guys next week. We'll be back to talk about 3 more episodes of Ranking of Kings.
Sorry, I know you're kind of wrapping up, but I just wanted to ask y'all. In all y'all's anime, have y'all watched Fruits Basket?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I haven't watched the new one. I watched the old one. But
okay.
I haven't watched the remake yet.
I was just asking because Taku Kishimoto, the writer of this, is also the writer of the remake of Fruits Basket.
Oh.
That was a journey of emotions.
What's going on? I don't know.
Because the remake is essentially the original Fruits Basket, but Fruits Basket didn't tell the whole story. The remake continues the story, and it goes into what the manga was, and the manga gets really dark. So I was like, oh. So if the anime is following the manga, and it is, I think, I'm pretty sure, then the anime is also dark. So you can see that.
Oh, there's some gossip on Twitter. Let me go read. Okay, we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.